Well, welcome back to another Story Tim, where I tell my favorite stories for my 50 years here on the planet in honor of my 50th birthday here. Well, I'd like to tell you a little bit about a story that happened to me when I was in Laredo, Texas. Laredo is just on the border of Mexico. In fact, my grandparents' house, you could actually see down the hill and across the Rio Grande to where is Mexico. And I remember Kathy and I were outside. It was late at night. We were enjoying the nice, balmy summer air. And we saw this series, it looked like a V of lights that was going over the house. It looked like it was a typical plane formation, maybe 30,000 feet or something like that. And we looked. I said, "Look, there's a flying V formation." And then as we looked, all of a sudden the lights just started going like this, just everywhere like this. And I'm like, "What the hell was that?" Because you think about it as being maybe, well, they must have been like birds or something like that. But there's no way that birds could go like this. So like, wow, Kathy, it must have been some kind of UFOs or something like that. And we watched out there for about another hour, I guess, and we saw several series of things, different colored lights that would shoot by and go like this or something. And so the next morning, I talked to my grandfather, who I call Papa, and I said, "Hey, Papa, we were outside last night. We saw these lights and stuff. Man, we thought it was like UFO or something like that." And he said, "Well, Tim," he said, "my son Jerry, when he was young, he was in high school. They had gone to a football game, and on their way back, he said, it was late at night and stuff. And he said they were out this old country road on the way back to Laredo, and he said they stopped in this field and they saw this big silvery disc thing that had landed in the field." And I said, "Well, what did they do?" And they said, "Well, they were really freaked out about it, and they came home and were just completely shocked." And was like, "Oh, freaked out." And so it was like, Papa knew that, they weren't just lying about it because they were so utterly, astonished by it all. And since that, I've watched several documentaries about these lights and stuff, down in South Texas and over in Mexico, which apparently is a fairly common thing. These globes, whatever, they don't look like flying saucers. It's just like lights and stuff. So it was pretty interesting, but that was one of those things that I said I'll never forget. And that was another Story Tim.